Have you ever wondered when humans first cast their lines? In this video, we'll journey back 70 years to explore barbed bone points, the world's earliest fishing gear. Si.edu. Curious? Join us as we uncover how fishing shaped early human survival. Picture an ancient riverbank under a golden sunrise. Early humans crouch quietly, clutching barbed bone tips. The splash of a giant catfish breaks the silence. Can you imagine being there at that very moment? These barbed points weren't just sticks. They were carefully carved bone weapons designed to pierce massive fish. Si.edu. Think about the patience and skill it took to make tools this precise. Here's the hook. The catfish they caught could weigh up to 150 pounds, enough to feed 80 people for 2 days. .edu. How would a single catch like that change life in your community? Long before metal hooks, our ancestors shaped bone into sharp barbs. These tools show incredible craftsmanship. Doesn't it make you wonder what other innovations were born beside the river? The river provided more than fish. It offered safety from predators and a gathering place for community. Can you picture the joy of an entire village celebrating a successful catch? Crafting barbed points required patience. Hunters scraped bone, sharpening each barb. Can you imagine the steady hands and focus needed for this work? Why fish giant catfish? Because fish offered a reliable protein source when big game hunting failed. What does that say about human adaptability in tough times? Catfish aren't easy prey. They're powerful and elusive. Early humans had to study their behavior and strike at the right moment. Could you have matched their patience and skill? Fisherfolk worked as teams. Some flushed fish into shallow pools while others speared. Cooperation was key. Doesn't this remind you of how teamwork is still vital today? The rivers of Central Africa were teeming with life, making them prime fishing spots. .si.edu. Can you imagine knowing exactly when and where to cast your spear? Bone points often broke, and each repair told a story. We'll showcase actual artifacts and their wear patterns. What would these tiny scars reveal about daily struggles? Barbed points were likely attached to wooden shafts, creating primitive harpoons. Picture the splash as a spear hits water. Can you feel the thrill of that moment? How do we know about these ancient fishers? Archaeologists uncovered barbed points in lakebed sediments. What stories lie hidden in the mud beneath our feet? Fishing changed diets. Rich in omega-3, fish nourished developing brains. Could seafood have quietly fueled the growth of human intelligence? These fishing implements show that humans were problem solvers. No prey was too slippery when armed with bone technology. Isn't this proof of timeless human ingenuity? Barbed points spread knowledge across generations. Parents taught children when and where to fish. Can you picture wisdom flowing through countless generations? Early fishing influenced settlement patterns. Communities stayed near rivers, building seasonal camps. How might these choices have shaped the roots of civilization? Imagine the thrill of a first catch, a giant catfish writhing on a line. That rush hasn't changed across millennia. Have you ever felt that same surge of triumph? Barbed point design varied regionally. Some had multiple barbs. Others were slender. What do these variations tell us about cultural identity and style? Fishing wasn't risk-free. Hippos, crocodiles, and currents posed threats. Would you have dared to face such dangers for the promise of food? Cooking a 150-pound catfish took skill. We'll imagine communal feasts, roasting, smoking, and sharing the bounty. Si.edu. Can you almost taste the smoky richness of that meal? Fish left behind bones and scales, but rarely footprints. Archaeologists piece together clues to recreate these meals. What mysteries would you try to solve from such fragments? Tools evolve. After barbed points came hooks, nets, and eventually boats. Which invention do you think changed fishing the most? Evidence suggests barbed points may also have been used to spear crocodiles and hippos. These daring hunts reveal bravery. Would you have joined such a dangerous pursuit? Rivers weren't just larders. They were highways. Ancient fishers used currents to travel and trade. How far could you journey with nothing but a river as your road? Could fishing gear be status symbols? A finely barbed point might signal skill. What might your tools say about you if you lived then? Barbed bone points are found across Africa and the Middle East. Did this technology travel with migrating groups? How do you think ideas spread across early landscapes? Storytelling likely accompanied fishing. Around the fire, elders recounted legendary catches. Can you hear the echoes of those ancient voices? Children may have learned to make mini spear points as practice. Play became preparation. Do you think this is where education through play began? Ever tried spearfishing? Modern survivalists find it challenging. Would you succeed with only bone, wood, and your instincts? Fishing impacted gender roles. Some theories suggest women and men both participated. Barbed points used animal bones. No metal or plastic here. Sustainability before it was cool. Could we learn from this ancient eco-consciousness today? Huge fish catches allowed for preservation. Smoking and drying meant food security during lean times. Can you imagine the relief of knowing food was stored away? The environment shaped the gear. Clear, shallow waters needed different tactics than murky depths. How would you adapt to such shifting conditions? Did fishing lead to language? Coordinating a catch required communication. Could this be one of the sparks that ignited human speech? Some barbed points have decorative notches function meets art. We'll examine whether aesthetics mattered. Do you think beauty was as important as survival? Weather patterns dictated fishing seasons. Floods brought bounty. Droughts required travel. What lessons about resilience can we take from these cycles? As tools improved, catfish populations may have dwindled locally, leading groups to manage resources. Was this the dawn of conservation thinking? Barbed point replicas help researchers test theories. We'll show a reenactment of spearfishing with modern-made tools. Would you try this experiment yourself? Ancient fishing touches us today. Many coastal cultures rely on techniques passed down through millennia. Can you feel the thread connecting past and present? From freshwater to saltwater, fishing expanded as humans migrated. How far would you travel to find your next meal? There's an elegance to the curve of a barbed point form meeting function. What does this harmony between beauty and utility mean to you? We'll explore myths. Did early fishers worship river spirits? Evidence of ritual objects suggests deep cultural ties. Do you think fishing was more than survival? Perhaps even spiritual. After a successful catch, there would be singing, dancing, and feasting. Our ancestors celebrated survival. Can you imagine the joy of such a gathering? Researchers continue to discover barbed points in new locations. Each find refines our understanding. What new secrets might the Earth still be hiding? Think you could craft a barbed point? We'll challenge you with a DIY demonstration. How would your hands fare, shaping bone into something so precise? Fishing is universal, bridging ancient and modern worlds. This shared experience unites us across time. Who in your life first taught you the art of catching fish? What part of this story surprised you the most? We love reflecting on these ancient innovations. Share your thoughts. Your perspective keeps the story alive. Thank you for exploring the origins of fishing with us. Stay curious, keep asking questions, and join us again for more journeys into the ingenuity of our ancestors.